Now joining us is my good friends, Dr. Phil McGraw and Robin McGraw, who are joining us from different parts, apparently. Hi, Dr. Phil. Hi, Robin. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hi, how you doing?
Well, we're doing great. I'm never used to seeing you two apart. Every time I've ever come to see your show, Robin's never more than 20 feet away. Where are you?
She keeps me on a short tether, I can promise you.
I haven't even been able to see him this morning. He had to leave so early, but I'm still in Dallas, Texas.
And Phil, you look like you are going through a tunnel or something. Where are you?
Yes, I'm in New York City, making my way through traffic, and Robin's in Dallas, keeping the home fires burning.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for making this effort to come join us. And I have to tell people that Dr. Phil and Robin, their connection to Say Detroit really goes way back. We talked about how I started this on a column that I wrote for the homeless in 2006. And with the money that we were able to raise from that, we set out on our first endeavors. And one of those was a health clinic for homeless children. Chad Audi, sitting right alongside me here, helped me put that together because Chad runs the largest homeless organization, the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministry here in Detroit. And he told me about a problem that we had with children here in the city. Homeless children weren't getting medical care because if their parents took them to the hospital for the emergency room, they would call social services and their children would be taken away. So instead of getting medical care, they'd be taken into the foster system. So they said, forget it. We're not taking our kids for medical care. Well, that left us with a lot of sick kids. We opened the nation's first medical clinic for homeless children that asked no questions and whatever. And it has blossomed into a beautiful operation, the Say Detroit Family Center. And Dr. Phil, you came out and did an episode with us from there. And while you were in the building, your show was up on the little television set in the corner. It was one of the most surreal moments of my life because I said, he's right here and he's right there. How does he do it? You remember that?
Yeah, I do. I told Robin that was such a cue the deer moment. I walk in and they see us pull up and I'm sure it's like, cue the deer. Put Dr. Phil on all the televisions throughout the clinic, and it worked. And Robin was so moved with all the stories that we told. And I have to tell a story about her so you understand. We've been married 48 years, been together longer than that, over 50 years. This is a woman that had a brownie troupe before we had any children. So we're not even married. We don't have any children, and she has her own brownie troupe. So she is so much about children and working with disadvantaged children. And also she was so inspired by what you guys do there in Detroit. So this has been a love of ours for a long time. Robin, you can talk about that.
That's so true. And he's right. I wanted to have some involvement with children before we were even married, but because I knew we'd be married, we'd have a family of our own. But that's been a love of mine always, is to be involved in a child's life, especially a child in need. And we lived in Denton, Texas, and I go to the Brownie Girl Scout office, and they looked at me in a very odd way, like, you want to have children in your home and you don't even have a child? And I said, yes, but they believed me. They allowed that to happen. And it's been like that from the moment I could be involved in a child's life. And then when Philip and I got married and we could do it together, it's been a mission of ours to be involved in a child's life, and especially a child in need. And thank heavens for you, Mitch, and everyone that surrounds you, everyone that's involved with you. We feel privileged. We just are so happy that we can be involved in any small way that has anything to do with you.
Well, it hasn't been small, and we feel just as privileged, and Detroit is very honored. And you've been out here many times, Phil and Robin, and you've done various programs. We were in a church together. I remember, I can't even remember how many things we've done together here, Phil, but the photo of you that day is still on the wall of the medical clinic, which is now in its 16th year, already of operation, and has grown, expanded to mothers and even men. I mean, it's so much bigger than when we began it. So thank you so much for doing that. And I want to mention, Dr. Phil has gone, not that you can't think Dr. Phil can get any bigger, but Dr. Phil's got kind of his own network now, Merit TV, and it's Dr. Phil Prime Time now is your program. You've got like programming all day long and all the rest of it. You're a mogul.
Well, we do have our own network now. It's called Merit TV, and anybody that wants to get even more Dr. Phil, but we have more than that. Steve Harvey's involved, and he's on the network, and Nancy Grace, and we have hours of news every day, and we're on digital platforms. You just can't go anywhere and not find us. But we wanted Merit TV to continue to support everything that you're doing there. Just as we always did when we were at CBS. So we want everybody to start watching Merit TV. All they got to do is go to meritstreetmedia.com and it'll pop right up and tell them how they can watch. It's on every cable system and streamer everywhere you can find. And if they'll just do that, we have our own app, Merit Plus. They can watch us on their handheld devices. But Merit TV is behind you 100%, just like we've always been. I'm there with Robin every day as usual, and we support what you're doing. And Mitch, listen, everything that you do from Haiti to Detroit makes such a difference in children's lives, and we just love what you're doing, and we can't support you enough.
Thank you so much. Well, as is per tradition, John Pizzarelli, the great jazz guitar player and singer, is here from New York. And we compose these little thank you ditties for people who come on with us here. And I think John's got something for you. If you can see him here, go ahead, John.
Robin and Phil are here right now. They're such gems and they're a wow. When they speak the truth.
So much better than Dr. Ruth.
Say Detroit sensation. You guys, you made our day.
Okay. I've heard him do a lot of songs. That's the first time a Dr. Ruth voice impersonation has made it into. So you guys know you're loved here.
Oh, that's so precious and beautiful.
I hope you've talked to, thank you for the song, and I hope you've talked about what we're putting into the charity auction.
No, I haven't mentioned it, so go ahead and tell us.
Well, Robin, you can talk about it. It's all of our books and signed, and the trip to the network and all. You want to talk about what all's involved?
Yes, like you just said, everything we've written, everything we have, of course, in the basket is part of it. But we want to offer a trip to our new network, and I hope everyone understood that it is in Dallas, Fort Worth. We left Los Angeles and we moved to Texas, which we call home. So it's kind of almost like a little joke. After 21 years on the air and daytime in LA, I said, Philip, okay, here's the deal. I think you either need to run for president or build your own network and get on the network full-time 24/7. Well, obviously he moved to his network to Texas. I said,
and now you don't have to explain your accent to anybody, which is good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you build it, take me home. And so he did. We're back in Texas. And I think that anyone who comes to Texas to spend the day with us, they will not want to leave. We absolutely love it here.
Okay, so this will be a trip. Is it for two?
Yes.
Because usually people don't go. So a trip for two to come down to the new Dr. Phil empire in Dallas, Texas, and view a show meet you and Dr. Phil and Robin, get a gift basket including all the books that they did, and come home, right?
That's right. Spend the day with us, get to see everything behind the scenes, get to see every square inch of the new network. They're going to love it. Have a beautiful meal with us and just enjoy their day in Texas.
Okay, and they'll have a place to stay, or they have to sleep at the airport. Okay.
No, they can sleep at the airport. We've got a bench marked off for them. And, no, we'll handle all the airfare for them to get here. They'll come in the night before and spend the night at a really nice hotel near the network. Then we'll handle all the ground transportation, take care of them while we're here, and the next day we'll get them back to Detroit.
Complete
unless
VIP service.
they decide to move to Texas, which a lot of people seem to be doing.
That's
so
right.
In that case, they're on their own. Okay, Phil, Robin, I can't thank you guys enough. You are friends. As Dick Schaap was once honored by the great Jimmy Breslin, who I thought is the nicest thing you could say about somebody. You're friends behind my back. And you've always been that way. And thank you for being that way. And thank you for caring so much about Detroit. Let's give them a hand, everybody. Dr. Phil and Robin McGraw. We so appreciate you guys. God bless you.
We love
both.
you.
Thank you so much. Love you, Mitch. We'll talk to you soon.
See you soon.